$65,000. Everything is playing out according to our plan. That one of the scenarios that I'm looking out, getting here some impulse moves. What for an amazing day we had yesterday and also today. Bitcoin moving here again to the upside, and now a major resistance level is melting down, and I will show you exactly, if you missed yesterday's trade, where you can find a potential next entry and how this is going to play out. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. Yesterday, amazing, the ETF inflows, after such a long slump here of 9 negative days, finally brought in some positive inflows with yesterday's pump here of 521 Bitcoin, which is roughly $31 million, roughly around that number here. So now I don't want to waste any time and go directly into the actual Bitcoin chart. So here on the daily chart, what you can see, everything is playing out according to our plan that we had laid out. I told you everything was setting up to make a push here to the upside, and now we are facing one of the key resistance areas here at $57,400. I can tell you, once we break above that level here, you're going to see another short squeeze to the upside, the same way that we saw here the previous daily candle squeezing to the upside. You're going to get another one once we are closing a daily candle above $57,400 in direction of $61,000. You see here also on the indicators, there's so much more room to go to the upside. On the stochastic RSI, I would say there's at least another 2 days. So until Thursday, alone on the stochastic, we can still go up. On the MACD can still go way longer up, and also the RSI is just warming up here, just below under 50%, so just entering bullish territory. So that's again a reason why I'm not putting too much weight on a stochastic RSI and looking more at the MACD and on the RSI, and also the shape of the candles and the candlestick formations that I'm seeing here, because this, first of all, is a big W pattern that should bring us back to $65,000. And at the same time, a potential V-shaped recovery here also at the same time. When I look at that, there is not really a lot stopping us now, with everything happening also geopolitically and economically, that should hinder us to reach $65,000 here in the next 4 weeks, potentially even faster than that. Also here on this daily chart, the correction is now, so how long we are correcting for now? 169 days. Yeah, 169 days. 196. I just thought when I said it twice, I was like, wait a second, that's wrong. 196 days. We are here going sideways down. 196 days we are going here sideways down. But also this will come, worst case, by end of the month to an end, which will put us above $65,000. Also here, with a downward sloping resistance line. Remember, I told you on the relative volatility index, when we go here into or below 20%, usually that marks the bottom and we get continuation to the upside. Nothing has changed here. Now, on this daily chart, I will give you the next potential entry for a trade setup, and I will show you in a moment on the lower time frames why I'm choosing this specific level. If you missed yesterday's trade where I basically said get in, I think it was like 56,500 or something. If you missed the higher entry yesterday, this is the next trade setup that I would be looking at, from 58,400 again here to the top of the downward sloping trend line of this channel at $67,000. That is the next trade setup with a stop loss at $56,600 approximately. So of course only enter this when we are breaking here above that prior support level and that we are trying to reclaim right now. Only if that is flipped, you're gonna enter this, and otherwise you sit on your hands, and I will give you potentially a lower entry if we get rejected from there. Here on this 12-hourly chart, here you see exactly the setup that I gave you yesterday. Yeah, it's $57,000 actually, 56,900, sorry, 56,900. So if you would have entered this trade, you would be up right now 0.5%. Yes, 0.5% plus the leverage that you're using. could already pay well, you know. So if you're a degen and you leverage this with 50x, you are up 25%. With 100x, 50%. Not recommending that high leverage, just saying, you know, so just saying. So even with 10x, 5% on that trade could be already a lot of money depending on how much you're trading with. So now we are still waiting that we get a 12-hourly candle close here with the current candle. And what I believe is going to happen next here is that we will run out of steam. I'm going to show you in a moment why the lower time frames are ready to pull back a little bit. So we're going to consolidate here a little bit sideways for 24, 48 hours, something like this. And then we get another push here to the upside, direction of $59,000, $60,000. And here we need to pay attention, guys. Remember, I told you this, if we get here a breakout, this is a little bit too early. Not saying we cannot get there a breakout, but it would be a little bit too early. And most likely, even if we break out here, we will come back into that green box here and from there consolidate again, and only from that point onwards then push here into the $65,000 level. So now, best case scenario for us is that we start to go now sideways and break out here a little bit, and then go still sideways into the green area and then move up like this. So more like a gradual breakout to the upside. So that is one of the scenarios that I'm looking out for, but I'm also prepared for getting here some impulse moves to the downward sloping trend line, breakout, basically faking out, come back into the green box here, and then bounce back to the upside. So if you're waiting an opportunity to enter because you haven't entered yet, then and you want to play it safe, you can also just wait for this downward sloping trend line to be broken, or that we actually come here into that green box, or if we pull back here over the next 48 hours below $56,500, also this would be a good level to enter here on the shorter time frames. So now on the 4-hourly chart, why do I believe that we are getting a pullback? Because the way that we pumped here to the upside usually primes us for a smaller pullback back to the EMA ribbon to test the ribbon, and then start consolidating sideways and push into the next short squeeze here based on the liquidation levels. Because you also see here now, between the next level above us and the next level below us, there's almost the same distance. There's not a lot of difference in the distance, which makes it, how to say that? It sets us up for some sideways consolidation until we get a decision in which direction we are moving. Again, everything what's sitting above us here, that kind of liquidity, is acting as a magnet and will attract price to go sooner or later up here to take out all the liquidity that's sitting up here, regardless of what's building down up here. And I'm going to show you this here now in a moment. Something else that we need to point out here is that the 50 moving average is now reclaimed and starting to turn around. So if we keep that kind of trajectory, we will have a golden cross on the 4-hourly chart here around the end of the month. Unless Bitcoin starts to do something crazy like this here, then of course the angle will shift and we get it a week earlier with the rate cut decision. So, but I expect this more by the end of this month, which is absolutely fine. So now when we're going to the liquidation heat map, you see also here below us, okay, $54,000, there is something in terms of liquidity, but everything what's here above us. So if I even go here to a 3-monthly chart, remember we talked about this a couple days ago, here $70,000 is such a big level to be taken out here. And you see here also all the concentrated liquidity. That's why I'm saying, you know, so and I'm not paying too much attention anymore to these levels below us, but here $56,000 could be retested, which is fine. Then we come back down here to take out this small level here of $60 million worth of long liquidity. But otherwise, the direction moves to the upside with all that liquidity sitting here above us. It's really sad that we don't get here a summary of how much is actually sitting above us. Would be nice if there would be a tool for that. Now on the MDX algo gradients, on the 4-hourly chart, also here you see we are running hot right now into that supply zone here of $58,500 to $57,600. That is kind of the level that I have also marked out on a daily chart with that zone here. So we tried already to break through this yesterday, but got rejected, which is absolutely fine. Now we are running hot, but overall the super trend is green. and giving us support. Even if we come back to $55,400, we will remain in an uptrend here based on the super trend indicator. And here on the MDX Algo Reactor oscillator, there you can see we get early reversal signs because we are running hot here. That doesn't mean that we need to stop going to the upside, but these are just early warning signs that soon is potentially turnaround coming. So, but this turnaround, when you compare this, let me just get the color quickly back. Compare this to here. Here we got the warning sign in that big pump, but we were still running a little bit higher. So here the same thing. So we can potentially run up here to like $59,000, come, turn around, pull back a little bit, go sideways, and then push here into the rate cut to the upside into the $62,000, $65,000 range. Again, guys, if you want this indicator suite, which helped us to make a lot of money here, go in the description. There is a link, MDX Algo. You get 10% if you use the link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, when we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance is bouncing back to the upside. Remember, guys, I warned you about this. We have also here a reversal pattern with the candlesticks currently going on, which is a Morningstar pattern. Again, guys, as long as Bitcoin is bouncing back to the upside and continues to move here even gradually to the upside, expect the dominance to rise in the direction of 60%. With the rate cut decision being in a week, I definitely expect next Wednesday when we get the rate cut that the dominance will spike like crazy with the pump that everybody is anticipating into that rate cut. So now the only question is how big will be that rate cut and how big will be the pump based on that. So it could be that we just get a $2,000 pump, so that would maybe put us at like 58%. But if it's over $4,000, expect that the dominance will spike to like almost 59 something in that kind of region. So, but you should remember, as soon as we get close to 60%, it will mark the top for the dominance. We will not go higher than that. It would be really, really, really unusual for the dominance to hit something higher than 60% and not start turning around. So we are getting closer here every day. Just hang in there a little bit more. And soon all of this is over and altcoins will have their time in the sun where we get the juicy gains that we are waiting for. So also on the total free, we are now back in that prior support zone and that support to resistance flip zone. I don't expect that we close today here above $562 billion. If we would do that, of course, it would be extremely bullish because it opens us up immediately to go back here to this resistance of $587 billion. And here, the same thing, guys. The direction is to the upside. You see here the massive W that we are forming here. Even if we put in a red candle tomorrow, then the other day, again, a higher one. Then we go sideways a little bit, and then we push here through. The W pattern would still complete and will still target over $700 billion of market share just in altcoins. So, and that, of course, will have a massive, massive effect price-wise across the market. So you're definitely going to see that. Again, guys, if you are looking for a place where you get free money right now to trade all these coins that you are seeing here, and remember, we traded a lot of them. I have given you a lot of these coins and they are massively, massively up. I'm also going to show that in a moment again. You only need to deposit $100 on Bybit, guys. Just deposit $100, claim your free $500 airdrop position on any of these coins. You can only use any of these coins here, guys, and then withdraw the $100 again, and you have a free $500 airdrop position. Take advantage of that. If you only would have taken the phantom trade that I had given you with 20x leverage, you would be up right now 400% on that trade with the $500. And I give you another trade here in a minute that can potentially yield the same returns and is highly likely to play out here the same way Phantom did. So go use the link in the description below, guys. Take advantage of that because there's only 8 days left before Bybit is canceling this promotion. Again, 3 steps. Deposit $100, claim the position, withdraw the $100, trade, make a shitload of money with me. With Ethereum, Ethereum here on the 4-hourly chart looks a little bit overcooked. Look at this here stochastic. flatlining and overbought conditions. The RSI is looking healthy in my opinion. So there is maybe one more leg to the upside left for Ethereum to this downward sloping trend line. I don't believe that we're going to reach any other level beyond that. Here's so much resistance above that downward sloping trend line that I think that this will be the point from where we get rejected at $2,440. So another $90 to the upside, roughly 3-4%. Is it worth to take a trade from here right now to the upside? If you want to scalp trade, yes. For making a quick buck, yes, you can do that. You know, if you use 20x here for 4%, you make 80% within a day or two, that's fine. Is it worth the risk? For me, no, not really, because of the way that the stochastic is looking and the fact that we are so close to the resistance, it makes it also highly likely that it's maybe just a spike and then you miss to get out of your position. It rolls over, comes back into that green zone here, and then we get a proper breakout. So I rather wait for that small pullback that's potentially happening here soon to enter down here somewhere, open from here a high leverage trade that I'm scalping with, and then trade this in direction of $2,500, $2,600, something like that. With Solana, the same thing. Solana is currently on a 12-hourly chart pushing to the upside. We're already in nice profits here from our entry yesterday. Also here, roughly 3% currently up on this trade without any leverage. I still believe that we are keeping to push it to the upside. But I want to remind you guys that also here, we could potentially just run into $141 and from there get a pullback because the stochastic also heavily overbought here, has to come down at some point. And that's why I'm also waiting for that pullback to like basically to the level where we are currently at or a little bit lower. And either you add to your position or you open from here a new position. That's up to you. One of the coins that I'm looking at currently that could be yielding as much as Phantom did is Injective. Injective just broke out of that bigger falling wedge here and broke this downward sloping trend line. So you can, for a smaller trade, enter here at current prices currently if you want. But if you want the big money, guys, like Phantom-like big money, then what you do is you trade this to the 200 moving average to $26.88. That is the first target. And beyond that, you can trade this all the way up here to almost $40 at 122% of a profit. So these are the two targets that I have here. It's of course a higher time frame play, but Phantom is the same. And with $500, imagine you trade this with $500 on 20x leverage. So now you trade with $10,000 worth of a position and you make 122%. So you make $12,000 on a $500 position. So which is insane. So that's why I would personally take that trade. Then Rune also nicely moving to the upside. Now my trade on Rune is finally back at plus minus zero. I'm gonna show it to you guys. So here. So I held it. So now I'm plus minus zero, break even. Soon will turn into a profit. We'll continue to move to the upside. My Telegram trade also almost racking in $1,000 currently. Yeah, there you can see it, almost $1,000. Here, next potential target for Rune is $4.50. Makes a lot of sense because also here, big W pattern. If you missed to enter this trade when I had given it, your next chance to enter is around the golden ratio. Wait for $4.17 to be reclaimed. From there you can enter. Here is some resistance. Once we are flipping this into support, you can enter this and trade this then into the target of the W pattern here to around $6. I'm also holding this trade to around $6 currently. So if I go here, let me actually check. Rune $6 will put me at $12,000 worth of a profit. Now, Coty, I told you Coty is strong and will have a massive move here from where I had given it. We were taking the first trade here at 7 cents and 0.9. Now you would be up here 10% on this trade on leverage. Don't have to tell you what a nice profit you would be already sitting in. Now we have also broken this downward sloping trend line. This is your last chance to enter right now, guys. Don't miss this opportunity. Enter here right now, because also here we are forming a bigger W pattern. The MDX algo gradients are just warming up to go here to the upside. And we will be here at 10 cents faster than you can look. And once we're breaking the 10-cent level, remember the target to the upside is around 13 cents. So you can still make it like a little bit more than 50% almost, I would say. Is it almost 50%? Yes. Yes. 50% move here to the upside in the next coming days, guys. Next coming days, not weeks, days, guys. This will take a couple of days, because look here at the MDX algo. Blue color, we are just warming up here to continue to push here into higher prices. And again, the indicators are all pretty bullish. The bullish divergence is now playing out. We were talking yesterday about. So also here, everything on track. Now, Phantom, I want you, when we break above the 50 moving average on a daily chart, you're going to see a nice pop here straight into the resistance of this falling wedge pattern. Now we are actually above that. This will be also the last chance to enter this, to trade this to around 80 cents in my opinion, which will also be roughly 40%, I think, to the upside. Oh, actually more, sorry, 62% to the upside. So you're not too late yet, but today also last chance to enter this when we close this daily candle. So you want to be in when we close this candle and the next one pushes to the upside. That's when you want to enter this, because also here we are about to break the neckline of that bigger W pattern, and the target, I never checked the target so far. Let's see, where's the target of this W pattern? There you go, 78 cents, almost 80 cents. That's why I'm telling you 80 cents next level for Phantom. So of course, if you want to play it safe, you can wait for the break of your 52 cents. But why should you not take another 4, 5, 6% with you if you can, and use then here's slightly below the downward sloping trend line a level as a stop loss, just to protect yourself. That's how I'm gonna play it. And again, guys, don't forget, tomorrow I'm gonna draw some winners here again. You can stand a chance to win here twice $500 per week. You only need to sign up with the link down below at ZoomX and deposit $100. That's all what we're asking for. Deposit $100 and keep them there until I draw a winner. If you withdraw them, I see that you're not eligible anymore. You have to keep them there until I draw a winner. Tomorrow I'm gonna draw one, and on Saturday a second one. So go to ZoomX, sign up there. Also no VPN, no KYC. If you cannot use Bybit, go to ZoomX, guys, with the link in the description. Near also nicely pumping to the upside since I had given the trade. Just wanted to update you on this one here. Also here, bigger W pattern is here in the works, guys. You can go almost to any altcoin that you want on the daily time frame, and you will find a W formation where we are either in process of forming that right leg, or we are close to finish the right leg and get into the resistance. And of course here also the technical target is here beyond $6.50 is almost $6.80, I think. So here, if you're looking for an entry, here $4.15 would be a good entry level, or to add to your position if you're currently in this trade. Then the next one, Telegram, also nicely up. I showed you already my profits on this trade since I had given it, because I entered it when we broke here the downward sloping trend line. Here, next level is $6. You see here the 200 and the 50 moving average converging right now, setting up for a death cross, unless we get really quick a pump here to the upside to $6 and a pump into that downward sloping resistance line to $6.50, so that immediately we see something like this happening. So only then, so basically a death cross, fake out with an immediate new golden cross, and then continuation to the upside. If we are not getting it because we are moving slow, then we will get this death cross. It will still be a fake out, but it will take a little bit longer to turn around here, and most likely into October, because we're here on a daily time frame, and it means we will go up something like this here, and only by the last week of September, I would reckon that we are close to the $6 level. And the last one for today is Ondo. Ondo also here finally out of that underlying support zone. That support zone has held on the whole move to the downside. So now is still a good time to enter this and to trade this at least into the golden ratio, because here we don't actually have a W pattern. We have only this downward sloping channel that we are trading in. Here I would get out at the golden ratio because we're running into this downward sloping resistance line here. If we would break this, then I would re-enter and start trading this here all the way up to 94 cents, potentially back to $1. So there's two ways how you can play this. Either you take profit here at the golden ratio and close your position, or you take a little bit of profit and set your stop loss at here 62 cents and let this play out and see if we are breaking through this and continue to go to the upside, or getting rejected, turning around. You get stopped out, but you took a little bit of profit, so you are fine, and now you can re-enter at a lower level. And guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and I hope to see you with more money like me tomorrow.